Hey beautiful people, welcome to Solely Purposeful Saturdays. Pick a crystal to select your card reading. Stay tuned. Hey beautiful people, it's your girl Shakima, just stopping in for a quick reading for us today for today's Solely Purposeful Saturdays. I hope you guys are having an awesome day today, BTW. If I haven't already said so, if you're not having such a great day today, guys, do just try to let the energies dissipate, okay? And let's just go and get straight into everything, and I mean everything that's unfolding for us today, because I was intentional in choosing romance guidance for us for this weekend, particularly because we do have Venus going retrograde this year, sometime in May. And it's very, very important for us to kind of know what the energies of this, I guess, Cancer full moon has done to our romantic relationships and endeavors as a result. As I mentioned to you guys before, obviously, because Cancer is all about our maternal relationships, it is going to impact our own individual romantic relationships as well, because as women, we kind of do relationships the way that we've been taught to do relationships by our mums, and as men, we go out there seeking our mothers. Okay, it's just a given. That's just the way that things work here. That being said, the moon is now effectively in Leo as of 12:16 p.m. this afternoon. So we're now sort of stabilizing as far as our creative endeavors, and Leo is the 5th house, so this is now really a blooming of our character. This is where the ego basically gets to show itself as far as how much it has been able to broaden its perspective of self, and give the rest of the world an opportunity to be able to, I guess, see as such. And also the actual aspects of the avatar that are going to be impacted by today's moon transit are the heart, aorta, blood pressure, and blood circulation, which basically just lets me know that we're going to be dealing with heart chakra activation. I've mentioned to you guys before that whenever the heart is being activated, we're pretty much just dealing with hatred, cruelty, and impatience as far as the shadows that will show up as the heart is being activated. So we kind of just needed to be able to utilize this time to see what is going to be unfolding for us, because this is pretty much setting the tone for our 2020 experience of our romantic relationship. So whatever crystal that you have chosen, take it as a opportunity to see beneath the veil of the layers of your relationship as far as what's going to be taking place for you within the 2020 dynamics of your relationship. So the overall advice here is to trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. There are restrictions that are sort of, I guess, taking place at the minute. There are limitations. There are sacrifices even that has to be made at the minute, and you just have to trust that those sacrifices are actually going to be for the long-term overall best good of the relationship, and give yourself an opportunity to work through the process of everything that's unfolding for you guys. Okay, going straight into it for you guys. Those of you that have chosen crystal number 1, we're working with Himalayan salt crystal for this reading, because we're going through a clearing, we're going through a cleanse and purging within our relationship. So our relationship's getting a clean out. Basically, we're going through a bowel cleanse, if you will, in terms of how you may look at it as far as the relationship dynamics. Okay, so for crystal number 1, for those of you that have chosen crystal number 1, there was a bunch of cards that fell out for you guys, and there is so much taking place for you guys, so I do completely understand. Sorry, my nose is tickling because my guys are communicating with me, so the energies are tickling my nose. Forgive me. Right, so I can see that for a lot of you guys, you have walked away from situations. Potentially you've walked away from your romantic partner in the past, because there were so many disagreements, there were so many arguments that were taking place, and it became very, very challenging in any given moment to actually be able to ground yourself and stabilize. You are dealing with potentially you're dealing with third-party situations moving forward, so there may be other people as well, as you try to go through a process of working through the situation and learning how to forgive your counterpart of the experience that you're having. There may be third-party situations where other people, it doesn't necessarily have to mean infidelity in the relationship, but it may mean that there's other people that are giving their 2 pence worth where it's not warranted. Basically, you guys haven't asked for it, but they feel like they care for you, so they're basically projecting their own personal feelings into your space of your romantic situation. So just be mindfully aware of that, because the advice overall for you guys is to keep an open mind, because you are dealing with a soulmate interaction, okay? And they don't necessarily know the ins and outs of everything that you're dealing with. For those of you guys that are dealing with infidelity and third-party situations that may be challenging the situation, I am hearing that they may be having interactions with a soulmate of sorts, and this may kind of be them disconnecting from you to be able to basically go ahead and start that new chapter of their life with their soulmate that has shown up, and you just kind of have to trust the process and allow for things to unfold naturally, because there is something better for you, or you may be the one that has found yourself in a situation where you found your soulmate as you are disconnecting from your previous relationship, which may have been a karmic relationship to some extent in some measures. But I can see that there's definitely just a soulmate interaction here that you're being advised to keep an open mind about, because there are pretty much just a lot of disruptions that are going to be taking place for you guys. Okay, so just be mindfully aware of that. It's already been said throughout the duration of this year, you can expect that it's going to be a bumpy road. Okay, second stone, for those of you guys who chose crystal number 2, let's have a little look for you guys and see what's transpiring. So for you guys, things seems a little bit more, I won't say positive because that's an understatement. Everything's positive overall. It's just sometimes we may have to go through a negative spat at some point, you know, a takeaway basically, so that spirit can inject more beauty into the experience that we're having. But I can see, so a lot of you guys have been dealing with aggressive energy, very demanding energy in the past, that has basically just caused a lot of delays for you guys with the relationship that you guys are going through at the minute. It's kind of caused some stagnancy. You aren't as motivated as you probably have done, and that demanding energy, that aggressive energy may kind of leave you feeling very much weighed down by the pressures of this person's expectations. Moving forward, I can see that you will be able to get to a place where you're comfortable with the situation. I can see that you will get to a place where you're okay with it, where you are happy with it, where it feels like your wishes are being fulfilled and you're comfortable with the dynamics of the situation, where you're satisfied. But the advice for you guys is to pretty much just have a heart-to-heart conversation as soon as you can. Okay, very soon. Just have a heart-to-heart conversation. Let this person know where you are, how you're feeling about their expectations, about the fact that they require you to meet all of these expectations that you perhaps just aren't in a position to be able to meet. And the reality is the only reason they're asking you to meet all of these expectations is because they perhaps have not met them themselves, for themselves, within themselves, and they're using you as an external force outside of themselves to meet expectations that they're not willing to do the work to overcome themselves. So just have an open conversation where you can have a heart-to-heart conversation, not a mind-to-mind conversation, because that will become a clash of the egos, and then you guys can clearly decide what you want so that it can come to you guys, so that you guys can become the vibration of that. And the way to be able to do that is to honestly discuss your feelings with each other so that you can grow. Okay, so for those of you guys that chose the third crystal number 3, the actual, you just got one card. Okay, the Ace of Cups. So you got one card for the actual circumstances. And for some of you guys as well, what I did see is that for those of you who chose the second stone, I can see that you guys are kind of like working through separation dynamics because of the fact that their expectations aren't so easily met. So really just go deep into that conversation. Just something for you guys to note. But for those of you guys who chose the third crystal, you guys are going through pretty much just being in a place of experiencing love and compassion for each other, and this is really an opportunity for you guys to sort of go through new beginnings. You guys have poured so much love into yourselves over the course of your separation, because it seems as though you guys have been separated for a significant period of time. And it seems as though that's because there's a lot of control issues from the past that may be sort of impacting the way that you guys are sort of dealing with the situation. But the advice for you guys from the romance angels is to let go of your control issues and make the effort. Okay, and in the present moment, because there will be reconciliation in this moment, you kind of just have to let the passion speak for itself. I'm not saying jump into bed with them, guys. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to have physical intimacy to be able to experience intimacy with someone. You can have like soul connection, soul intimacy, where you can let this person really sort of experience your heart outside of your mind's tendency to want to control things because of your ego's perception of the situation. So that as you move forward, you'll be able to free yourself so that you can take back control of your life instead of letting your ego's programming control the way that you're experiencing this romantic relationship, because it is a beautiful experience from what I can see. It's a very, very intentional romance, and it's a very passionate romance, and it's a very playful romance. So just give yourselves an opportunity to bask in all the beauty of it. Okay, beloveds? That being said, I'm going to love you guys and leave it there for you guys. As per usual, guys, I'm sending you guys nothing but love, light, and positive intentions for the journey ahead. If you guys haven't already done so, definitely be sure to check out the link in my bio. That way you guys can connect with me for personal readings, shadow work mentorship sessions, candles, oils, bath salts, an array of different things. You can also utilize that very same link to connect with me via my other social media channels as well, so that we can just chop it up, guys. Okay, beloveds? I'm going to love you guys and leave it there. As per usual, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. God bless. Finish it. Take care, guys. Until then. Mwah. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more.